Do we live in a post-feminist society? An exploration by Alina Kushal. As a self-proclaimed feminist, I wonder if many women and men of my generation would call themselves feminists as well. Throughout my journey, I'll be interviewing various Royal Holloway students, finding out their views on feminism and whether they feel that we now live in a post-feminist society. How would you define feminism?
To me, feminism has always been a movement for equal rights for women, and so a movement against sexism.
I'd kind of define feminism in two ways. I'd say when there was the women's movement in the 60s and onwards, it was more women trying to become equal, whereas these days I would more view it as women trying to get ahead of men.
I just think it's the belief that men and women should have equal rights.
Well, when I think of feminism, obviously I'm thinking about the kind of strive for female equality, but also what comes to mind is I suppose the caricature of it.
When I think of feminism, I think of them burning bras and getting killed by horses and trying to get the vote.
Liberation for women, I guess.
It's a movement, a reaction of women that they believe that men are treating to her without equal manners. So I think probably a reaction of women, I would say.
Do you feel you've met many people of your age and generation who would define themselves as feminists?
Unfortunately, I haven't. There are a lot of women who claim to be feminists, but I've often felt that they just use the word feminist as an excuse just to sort of have a go at men. So I haven't really met any true feminists who actually fight for equal rights for women.
I suppose probably not in the same way that, student protesters have been in the same way as it used to be. So I think it's kind of generally people are quite happy with where they are.
Yeah.
But I think when it does happen, and I suppose that probably means that when you do meet someone who is feminist, you kind of consider them an extremist, even if they're just kind of in the 60s and 70s, they might just been considered normal, whereas now they feel normal.
I've only met a few because I think there are lots of misconceptions around what feminism is.
No, I don't at all. I think that they're the total opposite. I mean, most of the girls or young women of my generation, I feel kind of have reverted, or their ideals have reverted. They kind of, I think they like the kind of security of money and a kind of a breadwinner, as opposed to going out and being kind of career women.
A lot of them? Or?
Yeah, quite a few are quite wouldn't look to be dominated by men or anything.
I would say some friends that I have from Greece, probably because in Greece back to 1960s, there were some more traditional aspects, like the woman should stay in the kitchen, do the household, not to work, the main income should come from the man. So, after generations and with the feminist movements and stuff like that, most of it has disappeared, but even for joke, it still has remained in a really small percentage.
Do we live in a post-feminist society?
Brilliant, thanks.
I think we do live in a post-feminist society, but I think that's wrong because in a lot of countries, women aren't being treated equally to men.
Yes, I would say so. You don't see it in the same ways as like women going out and protesting, which obviously they did, and it got the rewards that it deserves. But I think these days, in the main, even now, if you look at Wimbledon, at the tennis, women play 3 sets compared to men playing 5, but women get paid the same, which is something I don't actually agree with. But I think if that's happening, then women are pretty much there. So I'd say we're coming into a post-feminist society. Yeah,
I definitely think that we do. I think that, especially like when I was younger, it was kind of like everything was kind of had the lad culture. It was kind of the going against like the feminism of like the 80s. I suppose kind of people like Jo Brand and people like that were kind of around, but it was almost like a joke for them, and it's definitely kind of petered out now.
The continuing need for feminism and feminist arguments can be found here at the university itself. Back in November of 2010, Professor Liz Schaefer of the drama department took the university to court over unfair pay in comparison to her male colleagues. This news story is relevant to my documentary, as it shows that the need for feminism has not died. Whilst there are still gaps in women and men's pay, whilst there are still women who feel that they are not allowed to work and that they are confined to domestic life, there will always be a need for feminism. Thank you for listening to my documentary.
Hi, I'm Callie Mainwaring, here today in the town of Basingstoke, about to interview a woman who is a mobile hairdresser, single parent, and my mum. Her name? Julie Mainwaring. For as long as I can remember, you have been a hairdresser, but for exactly how long have you been in the business?
That's a scary question. Well, I went to college at 16, left at 18, and have been in it ever since, and I'm now 45.
That is a very long time. Did you always want to be one?
No, I didn't. When I was at school, I didn't know what I wanted to be until my final year, and was very good at art and wanted to be a makeup artist on film sets, specifically horror films, because I love horror films and I'm fascinated with how they do the makeup. But getting ready to leave school, taking my exams, was looking more into it, and you couldn't get into a makeup college until you were at that stage nearly 21. So it was like, what do I do between 16 and 21? I've got to do something. And in Basingstoke, where I live, the course for hairdressing and makeup had just started, so I was lucky enough to get in on the first intake.
I only ever remember you being a mobile hairdresser. When did you decide to become one?
I'd worked in several different salons. The last one I was in for nearly 6 years, and although I loved it, the person that was my boss at the time was not great at looking after his staff. I was working very hard and I was earning him a lot of money, but my wages were very poor. Dad and I were planning to have a family in the future, so I left the salon. All my clients contacted me and still wanted me to do their hair, despite the fact I wasn't working in a salon, and were happy for me to come round to them, and so the mobile business started.
Where were you having your hair done before you met Mum?
I had a girl called Sharon who was my friend's sister. She was mobile, and then she got married and moved back to Ireland. And I was just chatting with your mum one day, and she said, I can come and do your hair if you want. 14 years later, she's still doing my hair.
Do you feel like your relationship with Mum enables you to talk about anything in confidence with her?
Oh yeah, definitely. She's very easy to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
She's a very good listener, and just over the years, I say she's not just my hairdresser, but we've become sort of quite good friends. Yeah, and we can chat about anything. No secrets there.
Definitely not. How long have you known Mum?
I met your mum at the school gate. No, it would have been at nursery school. When you were nursery school. Yeah, that's
together.
right. So it was when you were 3 or 4. That's quite scary.
Do you feel like your relationship with her has changed over the year, other than hairdresser and client?
Definitely, yeah. I would call her a very close friend. It's a very special relationship, actually. She's a good listener. She's helped me through a lot, with my dad being poorly, and then him passing away and all of that. She was there and listened and understood, and it was nice to have that person to talk to, really.
Have you ever been to a salon for your hair to be done?
A long time ago, before I had the children.
Do you prefer it, or do you prefer having it done at home?
I love having it done at home. It's just easier because I can wear baggies and not have to get dressed up or do my makeup or anything like that.
Obviously you had me nearly 20 years ago, and then my brother. How did that impact your business?
It worked far better being a mobile hairdresser having children than it did in a salon, because by that stage my relationships with my clients had already grown a lot stronger, and so when you guys came along, they were more than happy for a while to come to me, and then as you two got older, before you started play school or nurseries, I would take you with me, and because my relationship with them is more like friends, they were more than happy to have this little baby to coo over and hold while I did their hair.
Obviously it must have got worse when Dad left. How did you cope being a single mum juggling work and kids?
So you were 6, your brother was 3, so you were still quite young. You were at school, Connor was at play school. I don't think I'd have got through it had it not been for our family. You know, your nan and granddad, specifically my dad, really, because in the evenings he would come round and babysit and look after you two while I worked a few hours in the evening, so that your life stayed as stable as possible and your routine was still there, but I was still able to work and earn some money.
If Mum gave up tomorrow, what would you do? Cry.
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to find someone else, but I wouldn't like it.
I'd have a panic attack. Julie's been in hairdressing for many, many years, so I'd hope that she'd know someone that she could recommend.
I have such ridiculous amounts of work on at the moment.
We've got so much to do.
Lots and lots of work all the time, thinking about the work.
Working out that's expected from us is ridiculous.
So much, I don't even know where to start.
I've got so much work to do before the end of term.
It's just far too much to even contemplate thinking about.
I have a lot of essays.
Loads of essays to handle at the same time has made me quite stressed out.
Essays.
And the essay has to be 2,000 words.
2,000 words essays.
3,000 words.
4,000 words.
2,000 word essays.
8,000 words. All 10,000 words.
2,000 words to hand in.
10,000 words on that.
2,000 words each.
2 5,000 word essays.
2,500 words.
7,000 words long.
All 2,000 words each.
3 2,500 word essays.
So it's all like packing up at the end of term, and it's a bit crazy, you know.
They cram loads of work into the last 3 weeks.
My essay deadlines have changed lots.
Everything's due in on the same day for all my different courses.
On top of that, I've also got my dissertation.
I have the annoyance of having a dissertation to write.
I have to think about my dissertation.
I need to start my dissertation.
Tomorrow I've got a presentation that's about my dissertation.
3 presentations.
My presentation.
I have to be working on my dissertation when I'm supposed to be revising for my exams.
Exams coming up.
Everything's coming to an end with exams and coursework and everything.
And the exams next term. I hate exams.
I'm just stressed about the exams and sorting out all my revision for that.
And I don't know what I'm going to pick to revise because I don't like my courses that much.
I've had such bad courses this year, I'm not wanting to sort of make the same mistake again.
The course is so all over the place. It's very, very unorganised.
That means no time to do my dissertation, and I'm really falling behind on that.
Never have any free time.
Because I'm so busy with everything else.
I just feel like I spend all my time in the library.
Back to the library, I finish off work.
Yeah, on top of that, I've got my job in the library on campus.
I work in a pet shop every Saturday, sometimes on Sundays as well.
I'm a bit annoyed where I used to work for 3 days a week closed down, and I haven't got my redundancy.
It takes up so much time for like stupid pay, and there's not much we can do about it really because we need the money.
And on top of that, I've got to direct a play, which, I thought was going to be pretty breezy.
I've got American football that I do on Wednesdays and polo as well, and
I've got to go every single day to rehearsals and tell people what to do for 4 hours minimum.
I've also become elected president of the Climate Society, so with that brings lots of new responsibilities.
So I feel I want to do more things as well, because I don't like doing just work.
It's just so time consuming, it's just something you just don't want to be doing.
If I do those other things, I feel guilty.
On top of that, I also have a best friend. She's done her placement year in Germany and she's just come back.
My friend Ed is coming back from Canada this weekend.
I can't really give her the time that she wants, and
it's been away for a year abroad.
The amount of work's also sort of stopped me socialising.
So I won't really get to see him otherwise.
2 years, my best friend who's in America, and he's come back for 1 week and I can't even see him.
I've become quite distant from my friends, so I don't see them as much as I'd like to.
It's all really crazy.
It's annoying because it makes me unhappy.
I'm trying to eat, obviously, and don't even have time to do that.
At the moment, I've got so much work that I'm not eating well.
I'm eating more as well.
I'm eating all the time, like when you're stressed, you eat lots of sweets and crisps and stuff.
I eat because I'm stressed, and then I just get stressed because I'm eating. It's a vicious circle.
I'm having trouble sleeping. I never want to go to bed because I know I have to get up in the morning and do work.
I can't sleep at night. I'm getting insomnia.
So I go to bed really late, which makes me really tired the next day.
And when I do sleep, I only sleep for like 4-5 hours max.
I quite often can't get to sleep because I'm just thinking about all the things I have to do and don't have time to do.
And I don't do any exercise, so my health's probably really bad.
Fitness is out the window. I'm basically confined to my room.
The general stress levels I've had from all my work has made me quite ill.
Mentally and physically exhausted.
Because I've been ill, I've missed lectures and seminars, so I've become more behind and therefore I've had more work. More so as it's a nasty, nasty cycle.
But all I really want is a holiday because I just feel so tired.
Overall, I am very, very stressed out at the moment.
So I just feel stressed.
And that's just adding to my stress.
I'm quite stressed out.
Yeah, I'm stressed out.
That's really stressful.
It's quite stressful. Quite stressful.
We're all getting a bit stressed out.
Been very stressed lately.
Stressed.
Stress.
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 And they just don't realise, and it's really annoying.
With all this stress, I'm surprised I'm not dead.
Perhaps the fastest growing game in America, at least from the standpoint of participation. And I know folks starting to really get into it also as they gain knowledge of this sport. It's kind of interesting. You really got to watch a lot of it to understand the rules. And they've made their meet and greet. It's all happened, and we're ready to get started in just a moment.
Lacrosse is a team sport of Native American origin, developed as early as the 5th century, but since then it has undergone countless modifications and changes. An inspiration to what is regarded by many sports critics as the fastest sport on two legs, and is currently one of the world's fastest growing sports, spanning several continents and countries in both the men's and women's game. One country that has taken on and embraced the sport the most seems to be the United Kingdom, with the introduction of mixed lacrosse, an invention that has taken the nation by storm. It combines the controlled aggression and violence from the men's game with the elegance and skill of the women's, for a potent mix that gives players and viewers alike an excitement unlike any other, and what seems to be exclusive to the UK and some parts of Europe. As the mixed game is unheard of in the States and Canada, the place in which the sport itself was coined. And the excitement doesn't let up, especially at the University of Royal Holloway, as the lacrosse team here looks to achieve countless trophies this year in a multitude of competitions, such as the Bucks League, the Imperial Tournament, and most importantly, the Cup League. In order to gain more of an understanding of the sport, what it means to this university, and what is to be expected in a game with regards to gameplay, competitions, and the build-up to the club's first cup final since the establishment at this university, I get the insight from the mixed first captain, Charlie Allen.
Well, before I came to Holloway, I played a lot of different sports. But when I arrived, I kind of wanted to do something different that was more about like the atmosphere of the club over the sport in general. Being a captain, I really enjoy leading people on and off pitch. I really like the freedom that you have to make anything you want from the team, and I've really enjoyed sort of bonding with every individual member through that position and trying to sort of create something a little bit different to what we've had in previous years and change things from how they used to be in a positive way, but still maintain all of the bits that I loved when I was a player.
With that in mind, I inquire as to how the year has panned out with regards to the changing mentality and the effect it has had with regards to the game. These are but a few of the many changes the team has faced throughout this year, the most dramatic of which is getting to the cup final and the journey on the way. With my final question to the captain, I find out how she has used her experience in the sport to manage, nurture and develop the team to go for glory.
It's been like a long journey. I mean, for me as the captain, I've watched 2 seasons already go by, learned from them, and then obviously when it came to my captaincy, I wanted to, achieve something really tangible. Our first draw, we got Kings, which has always historically been a really tough team to beat. So we was sort of thinking that we could have been out in the first round of the cup. We were preparing for it for 2 or 3 weeks. It was always in our minds, like, you know, this is how long we've got. So we kept like preparing for that over sort of a large period of time, and everyone was just prepared that, you know, it's Kings and it wasn't the easiest draw we could have had into it. But we went down and we played and we won fairly convincingly, and I think that moment from winning that first tough draw has made us think, well, we can't have won that for nothing. Like, I think it's given us that motivation. You know, we've constantly been thinking, this is the final, we're going to deal with it more strictly than we would other games. We've taken extra time for the training, we've done more wall ball sessions, we've been trying to bond as a team and just trying to make absolutely everything fall into place for this day. And we won't be able to look back and say, you know, we could have done more. I think we've prepared for it in every way that we could. And win, lose, draw, it'll be a cracking day, and I'm sure it'll be a highlight of the season.
And I'll leave you with the words of Dave Wright, lacrosse's most famous commentator, on the day of the cup final.
Never forget how sunny it was, bright and clear. In my mind, that represented a cleansed sport, a cleansed team, a fresh start for the game. For a school, the fans showed me it was clear the story was how happy everyone was to be cheering for and playing the sport they love again. Being on the field during warm-ups, the looks and shouts of encouragement from the players left a permanent impression that they were back, both physically and mentally. The lacrosse spirit had returned. What I expect to find are a great coach, great players, and unconditional support from loyal fans. This game is all about the sport the way it should be. I can't wait.
The Man from Tallahassee by Monica Chowdhury.
Bobby, get your ass down here and serve some people.
Last hand, I'll be right there.
What the hell are y'all staring at? Like you ain't seen a traveler before? Sorry about that. People around here don't got no, whatchamacallit, etiquette. Though, I gotta say, you look a stranger. Where you hail from?
Here and there.
Well, that ain't no answer. Where you born?
Tallahassee.
No kidding! So am I. You just sit tight and I'll get you a whiskey on the house. Whoa! You drink like it's a punishment. Say, what's that on your back?
My piece.
Sir, I happen to hold power of the liquor traders in these parts, so people who want to drink gotta do what I say, and since most people want to drink, that makes me a very powerful lady. So listen carefully, because I don't like to repeat myself. No guns at the bar.
This ain't no gun. This here be a warrior's sword, forged by a great man. It came on me during my time in the East. No gun can claim victory over it.
A gunless slinger, eh? Well, a weapon's a weapon, and that warrior's sword is meaningless unless it's bloody. So let's have it.
Knock yourselves out, boys.
Justice, what the hell?
Where's Bernice, Wendy?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't you lie to me. I'm playing by your rules, but not for long. Now tell me.
Boss, we found upstairs.
Well, well, well. You did wrong, Wendy. And when people done wrong, they gots to be punished.
I ain't scared.
You keep that pretty mouth shut, you hear? Now, you're coming for a ride with us.
I ain't so sure.
Yo.
Boss? Let's get out of here!
Thanks, mister.
What'd you do that for? I could have handled him.
I'm sure you could have, but these fists are meaningless unless blooded.
Well, I can't carry this cripple now. What am I supposed to do about that?
He'll be able to move on his own accord soon enough.
What? No, we gotta do something. He can't just get up and come after me again.
I don't kill fallen men.
You think you're a big man catching an unarmed fella off guard? No siree. I'll see you Tuesday, noon, out by the church. We'll soon see how big a man you are in front of the fastest gun in all of Smokewood.
All right. You've had your say, Justice. Now I've got a number of things behind the bar here to shut you up. So if you try anything, well, just you try it.
Damn you, get your lady.
He left his sword. Bernice, would you?
Sure. Hey, mister. You forgot this.
Thanks.
Say, it was a real nice thing you did back there. I mean, if there's anything I can do for you, you must need someplace to stay, right? Well, I have lots of space, what with Pa dying and all. You can have his room. He left me with all his debts and justice to contend with, that dirty dog. You know what he deserved? He deserved to live and bear all his miseries. Instead, he died and left me. Still, I got more than most. But what you say? You want a home-cooked meal and a room for resting? Great. Right this way.
Sorry, didn't mean to wake you.
Honey, after last night, I don't mind what you do. I can't believe it's already Tuesday. John, can I ask, what's that mark on you?
It's a brand. How good old Pops punished me for yelling at him once. I ran away soon after.
What an evil man.
Evil. My ma was pregnant when I ran away.
John, that don't mean nothing. You did what you had to survive. You ever see him again?
When I was back east, I got word from a friend that my ma had died many years ago, but that someone with a family name is living in this town.
You came here looking for your pa?
Brother.
But how will you know?
I'll know. Nearly noon. Best go kill Justice.
Okay, everybody, y'all get the hell out of here. Ain't nothing to say unless y'all want to get in the way and get shot, in which case, I'll be more than happy to oblige. Well, fellas, our piece of shit sheriff's enjoying himself a drink in my bar, so for now, I'm the law, and I'm here to see fair play. So it's 20 paces and 1 shot, you hear?
Hey, wait a minute, what's he got there? Is that a king-size toothpick? Whew, you gotta be kidding me.
Didn't specify a weapon, asshole.
Hell, I don't care. Just makes it easier.
God damn it, John, you be careful now.
Don't you worry, it ain't becoming of you.
Oh, you're breaking my heart, Bernice.
Y'all about ready? All right then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No!
My leg, you bastard!
First blood.
Oh, thank God. That yellow cockroach.
If you're gonna cheat, cheat right.
You should have learned to kill fallen men.
Drop it, Justice.
Wendy, no!
Never did learn to shut that pretty mouth of yours. Hey, Toothpick! Watch the birdie!
Let's see you laugh without a head.
Wendy? Oh, honey, no.
Damn guns.
I have to stop the blood if... John, her arm.
Paz Brand. Son of a bitch.
The Man from Tallahassee, performed by Monica Chowdhury, Guy Pools, Ben Golding, Laura Evans, Jeffro Smith, and James Beaumont Furness. Script edited by Guy Pools, directed and produced by candidate number 0907976.